Chairperson, we'll just give you guys an up-to-date on where we are as far as the committee is concerned. Over the last 3 to 4 weeks, we have been meeting diligently in reference to looking at numbers, looking at possibilities, trying to do, as I said to you earlier, is fact-finding. We want to make sure we get as much facts as we can. I'm going to pass you guys out something that, as I said, I'm going to be very transparent. I want everyone to be aware that this is what was discussed. And some of us were at a part of this meeting, but not all of us were. And I just think that everyone needs to be a part of what was said and what was given. So what I have here is a history of 6 years of what was earned, what was gained, what was lost, as far as the golf course is concerned. I'm going to apologize to all of you as a council that the explanation of what I'm fixing to give you was not given on Facebook when this was published on Facebook. And that is, this is numbers based upon activities and things that were done in the past. From the get-go, the mayor, along with several of you, along with myself, we have specifically said that we are opening, and if we could open, we would want to do one thing and open a golf course. And these numbers reflect a country club, including pool activities, including at some years of the last 6 years, $300-some thousand worth of income for salaries. What I will say to you is that this is not an indication of what we are proposing and what this committee has been studying, but yet I will say that we have looked at every aspect of what has happened, and these are numbers based upon what has happened since 2011 up to when the golf course closed, the country club closed, Vermilion Oaks closed. So this is what we initially brought to the committee, and this is something I want to make sure that it's clear, that again, this is some losses, there are some things that are part of it, but what we have actually come up with, which I'm about to pass out to you guys, is some additional things that are excluding some of the things that were going on in these last 6 years. So I give that to the press, make sure they have that. Oh, he doesn't? No. I thought it's pulled up, isn't it?
Say that again?
Can we give this to you? Well, let me just hold on.
Yeah.
Here you go, Mayor. Okay, so this is a 3-page document that was delivered to us by this committee, and I'd like for all of you to turn to the back page, and it's called the summary page that will give you an understanding of what they came up with. The very first thing that this particular thing says to us is that we were concerned about startup costs inside, we were concerned about startup costs outside, and in this particular document, it isolates at the very bottom that it says that startup cost inside would be about $18,000 and startup cost outside would be about $72,000, which brings us to a total of about $90,000. That is at the very bottom of this summary page. So we're not even talking about operation, we're talking about starting up, having this thing if it's going to be something that is a doable thing for the city. With that being said, you have to also look at, and these numbers that we talk about as projected income is based on about 100 members being a part of this particular club. I do want to share with you guys that this committee was proactive, and this committee said that they would actually start seeking out people who were interested in fulfilling this 100-member, and after just a day and a half, we have a total of 91 different people that have signed up, and we are still not going to stop here. We're going to continue to move forward with whoever is interested or not. But I want to go back to this document, that these procedures here come back to we would be looking at a total operating of expense of $532,000 a year, to where when we actually look at what it would cost us, right, at the very top, we would actually be yielding money, and this does not include, Mayor and Council, tournaments that could be a part of this, and also maybe even leasing of the building. So what I'm saying to you is that this is not in stone. This is something that this committee said that based upon over the last 6 years, operating at this particular level, taking out the things and saying that we're gonna go with focusing on a golf course, and a golf course only, in which we are looking at, if we do the bare minimums of what we want, we would actually be slightly in a positive direction with at least 100 members, which right now we have about 91. So let me give you guys a few minutes, ladies, a few minutes just to kind of look at this. And this is something that, again, I have members that are here, that if we need to kind of get clarification, I would ask those guys to kind of just make sure that they give us their input on it.
And Councilman, what personnel would operate that?
Well, I think that first, the one thing that we would want to do is this total outside of what we would outsource that, and whoever would take on, just like we contract state highways, we contract our parks, that particular person gets a contract and they hire their people. That to me takes care of the outside. Two, yes, we would probably need part-time workers. We would probably need people to actually man the inside. If we could spare anyone from the city that we already have. But again, the total, what we were saying is maybe 2 full-time employees at a total cost of, total between them $40,000 at the most. But what I'm saying is that also could be looked at outsourcing. My whole point of bringing this to this council is to not say that we were committed, this particular committee, but to give the mayor tonight the opportunity, just by going and negotiating with the Broussard family. And that is, again, I want to make sure that that everyone is clear, is that we're not looking at making any decisions. We want our mayor with this in our hand to be able to go and start some negotiations and bring that back to the council before any final decisions are made. But to give us that opportunity to look at this is important, so that if we do vote on getting the mayor to go to the table, at least we'll know that we're heading in the right direction.